Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing's World Championship Round 10, the British Grand Prix. We're going to have the World Series British Grand Prix tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m, so don't be afraid to come and join us for that. However, this evening we've got a short qualifying session, a 50% race for the World Championship drivers in what many drivers think is going to be a wet race. We'll have to wait and see. Your commentary team for the event: Front Row Racing GP and Front Row Racing JS.
Thank you very much to DP. Yeah, I am Front Row Racing GP, also known as the Murray Talker, and with me in the commentary box this evening we've got Front Row Racing JS, known as James Shunt, and the person you've just heard, Front Row Racing DP, and his commentary name of Ted Craftsticks. So then, James, what are we expecting to see today on the circuit at Britain?
Well, I don't know about what's going to happen on circuit, but I've just pitched my tent, and yeah, the clouds are looking dark. I'm expecting it to get very, very mixed conditions today, so hopefully it'll spice up the action.
Yeah, I've brought my water wings with me, and I've got a funny feeling we may be needing them today, because pretty much every practice session I've been doing around this circuit, it's been wet at some point, whether it's been qualifying or in the race, so I wouldn't be surprised if that will spice up the action. Yeah, so I just want to ask DP if he's prepared and ready yet to go through the previous race results. DP?
Yeah, we can do that, no problem. Okay, so round 9, Austria. Stocky took another victory, finishing first for the Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes. And in second place was coming to get you on his first permanent race in the World Championship. Third place was Overdyking, who gained a few places and got driver of the day, both of which were helped a little bit by drivers having penalties, one of which was Simo, who on the day I think finished in second place but ended up in fourth, so it was a confirmed fourth place for him. Hammer Time 9.5 finished in fifth, with K-Slay 1 in sixth, Temp Fear 7th after getting a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. F1 Roadrunner finished in 8th place, and then the admin's pick Rookie finished in 9th, with Mornay finishing in 10th, the last of the points scorers. RMS Marinello finished in 11th place, with the Danish Dragons Red Bull reserve driver finishing in 12th, GT5 King in 13th place, and W Butler in 14th. Dan Evs, Adam 4600, Bartman, Jamie James did not finish, and Duo Finn unfortunately was unable to start the race. A little bit of info for you on today's race as well is that GT5 King has got a back of the grid penalty for today, so he's not going to be allowed to qualify, and Jamie James I believe has a 10-second rollover penalty. But enough of that, we'll move on to the drivers' standings. James, if you'd like to take us through those.
Yeah, we've got Mr. Hamilton 44 leading the way with 143 points, closely followed by Stocky with 139. So that win last week has really bumped him up the order, and he's on the heels of Hamilton now. Followed then is K-Slay 1 in the Lunatic Assassin Racing Haas. He's on 96 points. Dan Evans in 4th place with 62 points. Temp Fear really dropping back from his teammate Stocky. Stocky's on 139 points. Temp Fear's only got 49 points. He's really got to start applying some more pressure onto his young teammate. Then we've got the FRR Admins Rookie Manor, they're on 39 points. Then we've got Marinello on 39 points too. Also we've got Overdyking on 39 points, so them three drivers, not a lot to choose between them. Then we have in P9 it's Bartman with 35 points. F1 Roadrunner in also, sorry, that's in P10. F1 Roadrunner has got 35 points. Then we've got Hammer Time, he's got 30 points, along with Jamie James, who's also got 30 points. GT5 King's got 29 points. Mornay's got 21 points. Coming to Get You's got 18 points. Simo 911 has got 16 points. Will Butler has got 4 points. Duo Finn has got a sole point. And unfortunately, Adam 4600 with his driver attendance has only got nothing. So, yeah, a really, really massive stretch between the front few drivers, and then that midfield pack between 5th all the way down to 15th is very, very tight indeed. A lot of positions can easily change today.
Thanks very much, James. So yeah, on to the Constructors' Championship standings. And at the top of the table at the moment is the Danish Dragons Red Bull. They are currently on 205 points. That's Slap the Donkey and Mr. Hamilton. Slap the Donkey is Dan Evs, as we know him. He's just on a different account. And second place on 188 points is the Fearless Trailblazers. I can't even speak properly. That's why I'm called the Murray Talker. Fearless Trailblazers Mercedes on 188 points. That's Temp Fear and Stocky. And then we've got the Lunatic Assassin Haas of RMS Maranello and Casely, and they are on 157 points. After them it is the Underdogs McLaren Honda, and they're on 80 points. That's Bartman and Hammer Time 95. Then in 5th position it's the Francine Toro Rosso of F1 Roadrunner and Simo 911, and yeah, they are on 78 points. Then it's the GG Well Played Ferrari of Overdyking and Jamie James, and they have 69 points. In 7th place it's Team Banter Williams, and that's GT5 King and Mornay 77. In joint 8th place we've got the FRR Chewbacca Rookie Manor car on 39 points, along with the Moving Chicane Racing Force India. So let's have a little look at the Force India. In there we have got Coming to Get You 85 and Joey Finn, so it looks like we could well have the full grid, apart from one driver from the Renault in 10th place. Let's find the Renault team. Yep, W Butler 89 is there. Their points is the 4 solitary points that he's got. His teammate Adam 4600 unavailable again today due to working late. Didn't realise he was going to be working until it was past the deadline for the reserve, so unfortunately no reserve in place for that team today. So yeah, that concludes the constructors, the drivers and the last race results, and I think it is about half past. It is half past. Let's send them over to the circuit. And James, I'm looking forward to this one. Who's your pick for pole?
Pick for pole? It's the man on form at the moment. I'm going to go with Stocky.
Good call on that one. It's a good call. DP, your thought on pole?
Mr. Hamilton 44. He wasn't here for round 9 in Austria. He was on holiday. Well, I say on holiday. He was at his girlfriend's house, so it probably was a bit of a holiday. So yeah, wasn't able to race, and I think he's going to come back with a vengeance. So I think it could be Mr. Hamilton 44.
Okay, on that, did you manage to catch up with Mr. Hamilton 44 and asking for his pre-race comments?
Had a little bit of a chat with him. That's a lie, you did. Let's see. Let's go see what he said. Okay, so we asked him, after missing the last round, does that make you more determined to win today? And let's see what his comments were. He said he's looking forward to this race as he enjoys Silverstone and he feels good on this track. Others will be quick as well, and he thinks it's optimal to qualify on the medium compound tyre. He said his championship lead has decreased a lot and he wants to make a statement that he's got what it takes to win the title.
Okay, so there we go. Yeah, he wants to show everybody what he's capable of, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him doing that today. Interesting comment there about setting his qualifying on possibly the medium tyre. Maybe that's what majority of the drivers will do. We did see quite a few of the reserve drivers do that. It must be for strategy purposes. What's this weather going to be like? It's about to show us. So we are on the way to the circuit for the World Championship League in front row racing. And this is the no assist league as well, so no assists allowed at all. And the weather forecast, can I hear rain? I don't hear rain yet. It's looking dry. Cloudy as hell though.
It is very cloudy.
Okay, so I'll just got the weather forecast up, and for the first 10 minutes it looks like it's going to be dry. The 15 minutes also says it's going to be dry, but we know the qualifying session is 18 minutes and up to 20 minutes dry, so qualifying is going to be dry. And for the race it looks like it's just going to be cloudy and dry, but it's Silverstone, the conditions could change at any point. And it, ooh, I don't know if you can hear that on the broadcast, but I have just had a whisper in my ear that said we're expecting some rain shortly. So yes, my pit crew has just told me that we're expecting rain shortly. Interesting.
Well, I've not heard it. However, Stocky and W Butler, they've wasted no time. They're heading out to the pit lane now. So Stocky's going to be the first out on track.
With Stocky going out on track, DP, any pre-race comments from Stocky?
No, none.
Oh, thank you very much, Stocky.
There is.
All right, okay.
I'm so tired today, I don't know if I want to read them. Okay, let's see. We asked Stocky, do you think you can match the result from the last event? And he answered, Silverstone, Silverstone, Silverstone. I'm going to read this word for word how he wrote it. Attack that I love. Yeah, he wrote tag in real life, but strongly despise on the game, and I don't really have a reason why, but I love smacking hammer at this track. I'm guessing he means hammer time. He said his tyres may be the harder choice for tonight, and the last event he didn't expect the result, but he did manage to get it, so if he can keep it clean, he'll be happy with the top 4.
Okay. James, I believe it's over to you for question of the day today.
Oh yes, we have a cracker tonight, and unfortunately for all you hardcore racing fans, it's not going to be very entertaining for you. It's for all those Bond fans out there. In which 2 movies does Sheriff J.W. Pepper turn up in? And those are the Bond movies. You've got 24 to pick from. Which 2 movies was he in? That is Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
Okay.
I still haven't got a clue, you know. I still think it's the guy from Cannonball Run. the dodgy sheriff. I still think it's him. But anyway, Stocky is about to start his flying lap.
Okay, so let's go back to Stocky then. We're just seeing a few of the cars that have left the pit lane. So James, if you can talk us through Stocky's hot lap.
Yeah, just get on board with Stocky.
Just wondering whether he will put the full lap in here, because he may also want to start the race on medium compound if that is his thought on strategy, but we'll soon find out from his sector times.
Yeah, it seems to be a touch deep through Abbey, a bit out of shape, which may cost him a few tenths, but through the village and he's onto the Wellington straight now. It looked pretty decent through there, so let's just follow him through Brooklands and towards Luffield now. Getting the front end turned in, you need to make sure that the car rotates as quick as possible. Look to be rotating a bit too much there through Luffield. Now he's headed through Woodcote and heading towards Cops. Yes, far over to that apex, and that looks very nice indeed. Looks to be very, very oversteer now. We're coming up to Maggots and Beckett's, and the cameras can't really tell how well he's doing, but it looks pretty sweet through there. Now onto the hangar straight, get as far over to the left hand side to open up Stowe. Yeah, he's running right onto that curb, but doesn't appear to be carrying a heap of speed through there, and he's into the pit lane.
Yeah, I was wondering whether he was just going to do sector times and then pit. I did notice RMS Maranello had done pretty much the same. He's back out again now, RMS Maranello. He is on the medium tyres, so he'll be one to watch out for in a moment when he goes to put a lap in. Let's see, somebody is on a lap. A majority of the guys out there looks like maybe on the medium compound, but we've got Hammer Time 95. He's got 28.0 sector 1. That's a tenth off what Stocky just did, but Stocky went into the pits. DP, do we have Hammer Time 95's pre-race comments?
Yeah, I'll come to those in a moment. I just wanted to let you know that Stocky's sector 1 and sector 2 were both purples when he abandoned his lap. But Hammer Time 95, his pre-race comments, he was asked if he feels he's got the pace to get on the podium, and he said he hopes to have the pace to get on the podium, but he'll have to wait and see. He needs to keep it consistent, as the last couple of races have gone well for him, and he's scored strong points. Top 5 would be good.
He's gone wide though at Stowe.
He's massively out of shape in Stowe, and he looked to be
it's raining.
He looked to have cut Beckett's, and if it's raining, those drivers such as Stocky and Hammer Time, they'll be kicking themselves, because if it's raining, their best chance at pole just gone out the window.
Yeah, they may as well have set the lap. but then again it may not have been on the compound they want. But I can see a bit of rain coming off some of the noses of the car, just streaming a little bit. It's not heavy, but there is a bit of moisture out there. So coming to get yous on an out lap, I wanted to be interested to see what he was doing. Now the guy that we did see was RMS Maranello. Where is he? He is on a flying lap. He's on the Wellington Straight, and it looks a little bit dry at the moment down here. A couple of streams of water. 28-1 sector 1.
Sorry, Simo 911 has just gone and put pole position time in at 1:31.239. Over Dykins in second, Wilmot Hamilton 44 in third, and Erna Urchim in fourth, and W Butler in fifth. So as you say, crucial time right now for the drivers that haven't set a lap.
Yeah, so RMS Maranello heading up towards Maggots and Beckett's. Ferrari well out of the way there. Nice to see. So it's definitely a part of the circuit you don't really want to be following somebody when you're on a hot lap. And I'm just wondering whether this bit of moisture is just going to worry the drivers a little bit. And like DP was just saying, yeah, drivers like Stocky and Hammer Time that could have set a lap but didn't. How is it going to affect them? The guys that got the early laps in may benefit from that.
Yeah, them spots are still showing up on the circuit as Maranello locks up in the final couple of corners.
That's P2.
The line's gone P2. Not a bad effort.
Not bad at all.
Yellow flags as Simo looks to have either run out of fuel or he's got some sort of issue with the car. Looks to be up towards Woodcut, but he looks to have a lot of seems to have a bit of a problem there for Simo.
Stocky is back at you.
On his flying lap. Heading into turn 3 now, and I tell you what, you can tell we're in Britain because A, it's raining, and B, the weatherman said it wasn't going to rain and it is raining, so two surefire signs that we are in Britain for this race. The Stocky one's a little bit wide. I think turn 4 or turn 5 should I say is a little treacherous now with these slippery conditions. K-Slay's session's over.
Well, if you could have a look and let us know what position K-Slay is currently in.
Sixth.
Okay, did K-Slay send any pre-race comments?
I will have a look and come back to you on that one.
Just to point something out, Stocky's first sector is about half a second off what RMS Maranello did in that first sector. Is that the conditions, or was it the running wide out of turn 5, the loop, and it was compromised, or was it Aintree, that exit of the loop there? Yeah, ooh. James?
Yeah, I've seen Will Butler go through Maggots and Beckett's and all out of shape as I think Jamie James is going to overtake him, but he's not getting out of the way. It seems a bit odd there as he was massively out of shape, but yeah, he's still kept his footing out of backed out of that one with the Ferrari looming large in the mirrors. Sorry, I may have completely mislaid this information. Who is the rookie driver this weekend?
It's Erna Urchim. Yeah, right. From the World Championship Reserves. He's had a few races and done very well. Stocky's just gone P8. I think he'll be disappointed with that. I don't think the circuit's going to get much quicker. He is. He's just taken out a marker board in anger. Slap the Donkey is out on an out lap. Is this just about to start? Yeah, he's on his flying lap now. Is Slap the Donkey. This is Dan Evs on his other account. Turn 1, clips a nice bit of apex around turn 2.
Heading up towards the village, under braking, locked up the front right. Not too bad though through there. The rain does appear sound to be getting a lot worse as we see the traction there sliding the rear end as we're heading down the Wellington Straight, heading towards turn 6 at Brooklands.
Yeah, he's going to want a low 28, but it's a 29.0. That is the first sector is a second off of the pace of what it was only about 5 minutes ago. So I've got a funny feeling we're not going to see these times improving very much, as we can see the water droplets on the car now. And if I go off board around as we watch Cops, normally there's a nice camera view that shows us from the curb, but it's not going to do it this lap. Never mind. I was just going to see if there was water on the apex.
Yeah, he's struggling now with these slicks. The rear end of the car is just really twitchy, and that's not what he wants through Maggots and Beckett's as he heads onto the Hangar Straight.
Oh, that's 2 seconds off the pace. Yeah, that's 3 seconds already. I wouldn't even say this is necessarily an in lap because he hadn't set one beforehand. and he's currently sat in 16th place. Maybe this will still be an improvement on his time. No, he's abandoned it. He's gone for the pit lane. So Duo Finn currently sat in 19th place. He's got a 29.8 sector 1 and a 48.8. That looks like it may be an in-lap or a very slow middle sector. Mr. Hamilton 44 is out on a lap. He's done a 28.6 sector 1 and a 39.2 sector 2. Not too bad, just about to cross the line. Stays 5th place, improved his time by a couple of tenths.
Duo Finn's about to cross the line as well. It's not been a particularly quick lap, but it is going to be a lap. It's a 1:45. It's 15th place. And I tell you what, there's a slightly interesting situation happening. GT5 King does have a back of the grid penalty, but so that he starts ahead of the broadcast team, he is allowed to set a lap time beyond a certain lap time. It's a Qualiban Delta time. And at the moment, he's got two drivers that could be starting behind him. Jamie James and Slap the Donkey, that's Dan Evs, haven't put a lap time in yet.
Now, that's interesting that they've not put a time in.
Apologies, one of the McLaren drivers looked to have pulled over to the side of the circuit, and then it looked to me like as if there was a bit of a glitch going on as his rear wheels was in reverse, but yeah, he wasn't going anywhere, so hopefully that's just a technical glitch and it'll go away for the race, because that's not what you want in the race.
I've just seen Temp Fear is currently sat in 14th place, and it looks like he's nearly out of fuel as he's rolling back towards the pit lane, and he will not be happy with the 14th position. So Joey Finn is on another flying lap. First sector though, it's down on what it needs to be, and currently sat in 15th place. I think that may be an in lap on his. Jamie James has left the pit lane, so he'll be coming round to start a lap shortly. So Jamie James is one to keep an eye out for, and as usual, or recently, I believe that Jamie James evaded the media again today, and yep, just walked away saying nothing, keeping his crash helmet on. So Mr. Hamilton returns to the pit lane. Erna Ertram says flying lap, but
it's looked decent this, even though it's wet conditions. Even though it's just been an in lap, it's looked very solid on the soft compound tyre. But he's just from watching off board, he's looking pretty nailed on. I think he's going to impress us this weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely one to look out for the future, and I'm wondering if the soft compound tyres are going to work better in these conditions rather than the mediums. DP, any information from down in the pit lane?
Not a lot really, other than it's getting wet. Jamie James is the only car on track at the moment. W Butler's on his way out of the pits now as well. There is enough time for drivers to get out there and put another lap in. It's just a case of whether the circuit is going to be able to give them the grip to do so. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but yeah, Jamie James now on his flying lap, I believe.
He is. He's just coming around the last couple of corners. Got his throttle down gingerly, not too carefully, very carefully I should say, as he goes across the line, and his lap starts. James, over to you.
Yeah, so through turn one, not looking too shabby through there, but it looks to be very, very gentle on the throttle, not as aggressive as you would be on a fully bone dry circuit. But it looks to me, maybe it's just my eyes playing up on me, but the rain looks to be dissipating a bit. It's not as bad as it was about 4 minutes ago, so maybe, even though the audio is telling me it's still raining, it may possibly dry up in the last couple of minutes here as we're heading through Brooklyn towards Luffield, keeping very tight against the apex, and then runs wide mid-corner, which then sort of puts you on the outside, and you don't really want to run over that curve, because if you slightly lose control, unfortunately you're going to get sucked off in the gravel, and that's not what you really want.
Why not, James? Why not?
Well, unfortunately, it's not a nice experience. Like, you get sand everywhere, it gets in all the crevices. You don't want that.
No,
now we're heading through Maggots and Beckett's and onto the Hanger Straight, and yeah, you look to have really not attacked them corners in any way, shape or form as we head towards Stowe. Yeah, it looks to be completely backed out of this. It looks like he's heading back towards the pit lane. Arriva Bene shaking his head, and yeah, no, he's carrying on for another go. So maybe he thinks there's some life in these tyres.
Either that, or he realises he's not got enough time to pit, refuel, and return to the circuit, and he's going to go for another lap. Let's just hope he's put enough fuel on board. No, he's backed out of it already. He just wanted to set that line,
you.
that time. Yep.
Info for you. Mr. Hamilton 44 is leaving the pits on a set of intermediate tyres.
No, I think it's a bit too late for those. I think it would be wise to stick with the slicks. It's just not, I don't think it's in the middle. It's a bit greasy, but I think you're going to burn up them inters. As soon as you stick on a set of inters, you're going to at least be going about 3 or 4 seconds slower than you would on a set of slicks.
True, but he may be thinking, no one's going to be improving their times. I'm going to go out and get a bit of experience on the inters to see how they feel in case we get this bit of moisture in the race, as it's not mentioned it in the weather forecast. You never know.
I mean, to be fair, on the slick runners, there's not a lot of spray, and there's a slight dab of spray on those intermediate tyres, so it may just be heading towards intermediate conditions. But I think, yeah, in racing situation, I don't think you'd want to be on the inters in this situation. As we're heading towards Maggots and Beckett's, yellow flags flying. It looks like there's some drama up ahead, but hopefully it won't be hindering Mr. Hamilton, as he's got 1 minute left to get over the line and start a lap.
Just having a little look quickly to see if anybody is already on one, while you can keep talking about Mr. Hamilton, James.
Yeah, so very, very fast right-hander, and unlike in the old days, there used to be a lovely gravel track there to catch you and spit you into the wall and give you a broken leg, as it did to Michael Schumacher once upon a time. Just opening up the final corner, a bit of opposite lock for good measure. That's nice to see. Ken Block would be proud. Heading through turn 1, turning in, and yeah, the car just doesn't look towards turn in now. Maybe the conditions are getting ever so slightly worse. Looked to be a lap ago, getting slightly better, and yeah, typical British weather. It's going from bad to worse. Now, once again, having to steer the car with the right foot there. Seems to be on the power, turning right through a left-hander.
But a 32.3 sector 1 on inters, you would say, is not too bad, but it's not going to do anything to the front row of the grid. It's not going to change his positioning. It's not going to worry that. We've just been booted from the pit lane. We are now up in the commentary box.
Mr. Hamilton's doing a decent little bit of a sighter job here, because he knows if he's rolling round on a set of slicks, he knows exactly the crossover point of the delta time that the inters are going to give him when if it starts raining mid-race. Yeah. Whereas other drivers may not have that information and that feel.
I was going to mention that to you, that obviously on the weather forecast for us it showed it being a dry qualifying session, and it hasn't been, but it also showed it being a dry race, which means it might not be, which could, as you say, means that Mr. Hamilton 44 gets a little bit of experience on the intermediate tyre, whereas other drivers don't. But what this has done, okay, it's not been the most exciting of qualifying sessions, but that's what happens when you get weather like this. But what it has done has totally mixed up the grid, potentially, with the likes of Mr. Hamilton 44 starting in 5th, and Jamie James and Dan Evans right at the back of the grid.
Right.
Okay,
so
James, over.
My cue.
Yep. Over to you.
Yeah, so Simo 911 done an absolutely fantastic job to get pole position, and closely followed by RMS Maranello, and then Overdijk in P3. That's quite impressive for the Ferrari team. Then we've got Bartman in P4. Then we have Mr. Hamilton 44 in the Red Bull Racing P5, Casely P6, F1 Roadrunner P7, the admin's rookie manor. Remind me again how I pronounce that name, as it's
Erna Urcham.
Erna Urcham, right. My Yorkshire twang is going to have to get on a bit with that one. So then we've got P9 coming to get you, P10 Stocky, he's not going to be happy with that, P11 Hammer Time 95, P12 Mornay 77, then we've got P13 Will Butler, P14 Jamie James, P15 Temp Fear, P16 Duofin, P17 GT5 King with that racing ban, the quali ban, and then we've got Dan Evs with Slap the Donkey at the back of the pack.
Okay,
we have got a dry track. It's dry. There's no rain falling. It's still cloudy here at Silverstone.
I've seen a few umbrellas out there, so people are anticipating the rain to come.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking though whether Mr. Hamilton 44 was thinking if he could improve his lap time on the set of intermediate tyres, it would have given him a free choice of tyre to start with. However, he wasn't able to improve, so he will start the race on the tyres he set his fastest lap in qualifying, and obviously 11th down, get a free tyre choice. As we now get ready to start the formation lap. It's not quite going yet. We've got a few more seconds to go for that one. So not long though until the front row racing World Championship round 10 gets underway. And I tell you what, looking at these clouds, I know you can't see them on the stream at the moment. Steve will rejoin us in the session to catch the start in a moment. I know you can't see them at the moment, but it is still very cloudy here, isn't it, James?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd are definitely anticipating rains. I'm seeing a lot of Pacamax out there, so
there's going to be a lot of people who don't know what Pacamax are. Kagools, they're not even Kagools really, are they?
Can we just have confirmation from Mr. Return?
Started.
Yeah.
It's just started.
Yeah, I think one of the terms that people use for those Macca packs is Macintosh. I think that's one of the correct names, isn't it? Macintosh. They were the Scottish people that started making them first of all.
Could well be. James, do you want to quickly run us through your question of the day again?
So yeah, the question of the day is, in which two Bond films does the character Sheriff J.W. Pepper show up in? That's which two Bond films 007 does Sheriff J.W. Pepper show up in?
Interesting question. Bit of info for you on tyres, guys. The front three drivers, Simo, RMS Maranello and Over the King, are all on medium tyres. Barman and Mr. Hamilton 44, they're on soft tyres. K-Slay, he's on mediums. Roadrunner and Erna Urchum are on softs. Coming to get you, Stocky, Hammer Time, Mornay, Jamie James are all on mediums. We've then got Temp Fear and Duofin on hards. Temp Fear starting 14th. Bit of unfortunate that, but they're starting on hard tyres. And then we've got GT5 King, Slap the Donkey, and W Butler starting on soft tyres. W Butler did have a 5-place grid drop from qualifying for, I believe, a bit of contact with Stocky, so he is going to start from the back of the grid, but should be just ahead of the broadcast team.
And a little bit of news for you, even though this is just an outlap, I'm sure I've spotted 2 spits of rain already. So hopefully the drivers will be anticipating maybe an early pit stop.
A lot of spitting and spotting from James. But I mean, you're right. I mean, I don't know what's worse, going around on the formation lap and seeing a few splashes of rain, or it being dry and as soon as you drive off, the rain coming. Either way, if the rain does arrive, I think we'll see drivers heading to the pits very, very early.
Yep, so we're just waiting for the cars at the rear of the grid to line up. We see a bit of a smoking car in the background. Hopefully their engine is fine. We need to get back with the front runners here. Simo is on pole. The lights are coming on. There are 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights on. When the lights go out, we are racing. They are out, and we are racing. They are heading down towards turn 1. RMS Maranello trying to make a move on Simo 911, but 911 takes the lead into turn 2. And brake now heavy down into turn 3, and it looks like we're getting quite busy down in the mid pack. Let's have a little look. Is it going to be all clean there? And it looks like we've got majority of the cars round turn 3, 4 and 5 all reasonably pretty clean without too much incident so far. That is quite surprising.
Well, you say that, but I did see towards the back of the grid there was a car sideways into the pit wall. They have continued on. I'll try and find out who that may have been.
I'm just wondering if that was somebody behind one of the broadcast teams, and they should be anticipating the broadcast team will not be moving out of the way for you. You have to move around them. or was it somebody getting a bit of a delayed start?
No, it was way down, heading into turn 1, that I saw it happening. It was much further away from the grid.
Okay, over Dykink. No, it's not over Dykink. It's his teammate was under pressure, and I was just trying to see who it was that's putting pressure on him. Jamie James has got a Red Bull right behind him. That is Slap the Donkey, who's come from the back of the grid.
Simo's about to lose the lead.
Okay, let's have a look. RMS Marinello, can he make it round the outside?
Yeah, Marinello's made it just in time with Bartman in P3 over Dykink and Mr. Hamilton 44 in the background. So Marinello needs to try and bolt right now as Bartman is in P3 and he's on a set of soft compound tyres. I'm just looking in the background and there's no cars left on the circuit, so that's good. At least it won't be bringing out any yellow flags for the drivers as Batman just clobbers into the back of Simo there.
I think I may have just seen a Red Bull or a Toro Rosso with a little bit of lag on the international pit straight there. Might be worth keeping an eye out. One of the I think it's a Red Bull or a Toro Rosso in about 4th or 5th place. It might be Mr. Hamilton.
Sorry, we've got Mornay under putting Mr. Hammer Time at 95 under a lot of pressure, and Jamie James is really struggling now. Look, even though we're only on lap 2, looks to me like some of these tyres are a bit burnt out.
And they've not done many laps.
Slap the Donkey, Dan Ebbs, up the inside of coming to get you, and he's managed to make his way up into 10th place. That was a very, very optimistic move there. Slap the Donkey's pulled out a massive gap. He looks to have a ton of pace in that Red Bull.
I think we might need to have a look at Mr. Hamilton 44 and Bartman and over Dykink. They're starting to battle heading up towards Stowe. Mr. Hamilton 44 was very out of shape. Oh, it's over Dykink. Has a look at the inside and nearly chops off the nose of the McLaren.
McLaren.
Getting very busy for 3rd place here.
Oh, Casely's hit the back of Bartman. But yeah, like you said, over Dykink moving across when Bartman was still at the side of him. I don't think Bartman's too impressed as Bartman's giving him a taste of his own medicine. And yeah, he's made that McLaren about twice as wide as it should be, as Stocky now running behind F1 Roadrunner, and Casely is under pressure.
I'm just wondering whether that was over Dykink letting Hammer Time through, because he may have realised that he chopped him off.
Stocky! Casely just got all out of shape, and Stocky is now all side by side with Casely as we're running onto the DRS straight, the first one of
we've got a 3-wide battle. They've got a 3-wide battle. Bartman, Mr. Hamilton 44 and over Dykink into Brooklands.
Oh, sorry, Dan Ebbs has just completely swiped into the back of Stocky and spun round at the end of the first DRS straight. I think completely overcooked is the word to use there.
Over Dykink's looking for an inside move on Mr. Hamilton, not able to make it there, and it's very interesting to see the different strategies starting to work out here.
Round the outside. No, Mr. Hamilton's just said no, I'm not having that.
Over Dykink's off onto the green stuff. He's managed to avoid the wall, but
he's managed to come back. Oh, can he get back on without spinning it? And he's coming out just behind the just in front of his teammate. Hopefully his teammate won't be hindered there, and it looks like he's going to get swamped.
James Bartman and Miss Hamilton 44 just had a coming together at Stowe, and that's allowed Casely to steal a position. Miss Hamilton 44 into the pits.
Oh, he's round!
Who's that? Who? Who?
Casely's round. Went up the inside, and yeah, round he goes, and Tempfie is now side by side with Casely round the back of the grid, and that is not where they would like to be.
Okay, trying to let things settle down a little bit here. We're on lap 4 only, and we've got Marinello leading with Simo 911 very close behind, only half a second, and Bartman is trying to stay with them, but his tyres are going off, and he is 7 seconds off the lead, but he is closely followed by F1 Roadrunner.
Over Dykink and Hammer Time side by side. Can Hammer Time hold on to this? But it looks like he's going to try it around the outside, but no, over Dykink's done him, and now that's opening the door for Mornay in the Williams.
I might have to cut you off in a moment just to let you know that RMS Marinello and Simo are very, very close heading into Maggots and Beckett's. I think on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's, Simo may have a chance. Let's see, they're just going through Maggots and Beckett's now.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hamlin 44 did pit for tyres. It wasn't for any other reason, so his tyres were going off. So here we go then. Has Simo got enough speed behind RMS Maranello with the DRS? No, he hasn't, unfortunately. We'll go and have a look a little further down the grid.
Stocky is now attacking Bartman in the McLaren, trying it on the racing line around the outside. Can he do this? The McLaren driver Bartman is trying to hang in there, but no, he's just lost out, and here comes Coming to Get You. Can he get up the inside as well? I think he can. Bartman's not giving him enough space, and round Coming to Get You goes.
I don't think Bartman was necessarily looking in his mirrors there. He was focused too much on the car ahead and not what was happening behind him. Or maybe Coming to Get You just a little bit eager.
Maranello and Simo, he's close enough, heading onto the Wellington Straight. Can he have a good run here? He is, he's close, he's got the DRS, it's wide open, but Maranello's looking very, very quick in a straight line.
Yes.
Sorry, we've got one hell of a battle going on. It's two Ferraris versus one rookie Manor, and both Ferraris don't know which one's going to take him first.
Well, in this situation,
really impressing is this rookie Manor.
I was just going to say, James, in this situation when you've got your teammate ahead of you,
yeah, Overdyking's getting impatient, clobbering into the back of the Manor, and Jamie James is saying, you know what, you need to make this move because I've got five drivers up my chuff and I need to get on with it.
Yep, and that's just about what I was going to say. In this situation, if you were Jamie James, you've got to defend, and but you're in a situation where you don't really want to attack your teammate. You want him to get on with it and go as fast as he can, but it looks like he's not able to get past Ercham at the moment.
Yeah, he's getting in a gap that doesn't exist, but he's managed to make it exist. I think the Manor there was a bit shocked that he went for that, but there we go, Overdyking up into P6. Now it's Jamie James's turn. Can he make the move without spinning off as he's the crowd behind him look to be chomping at the rear wing of that Ferrari.
James, if you want to have a look at what's happening sort of third and fourth, Steve, you want to keep on that battle for the moment, I'll let you know what's happening up at the lead. Simo and RMS Maranello still close, but I will scream at you if it looks like an overtake is about to happen. Half a second between the two of them at the moment.
Just
Sorry,
I've
got a move just lining itself up. It's Stocky on F1 Roadrunner for P3. Stocky looks has got the DRS open, and can he make this move? He's going to the racing line. He's going to try it round the outside. Can he hang on to this? F1 Roadrunner, is he going to cut him off? No, Stocky's got enough space, and I think Stocky may hold on to this, but F1 Roadrunner, if he's smart, can do the undercut here. No, Stocky's got the move done, that's it.
Okay, so looking back at that other battle again now then, we've got Jamie James has made the move on Erna Ercham, and the next car that Erna's got to try and prevent from overtaking him, we shall say, is Hammer Time 95, with it being lap 6.
Dan Ebbs. Slap the donkey for all those viewers is Dan Ebbs, and yeah, he's got some blistering pace. He's been aiming the wrong way, and he's already back onto the pace of the Ferraris, and he's trying it round the outside of the Manor. Can he hang on to it? Yes, he can.
That's not a place where you normally see a car make an overtake, and with it being Dan Ebbs as well, you don't expect it to normally come off, but that was a great overtake.
Coming to Get You up the inside of Hammer Time 95. That's a lovely move for P10, as we've got the Ferrari under attack from Dan Ebbs, and the Manor is in the pit lane along with Mornay.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's lap 6, and that is the pit window for anybody that started on the softest compound tyre. They will, if you've qualified on them, yep, it's going to be about lap 6 is the furthest you want to be taking them. So,
James,
they are in the pits.
James, could you have a quick look at where Mr. Hammer 44 is?
Sorry, we've got 3 wide. It's Jamie James turning in on a Red Bull and a Force India. Not very smart there, Coming to Get You, and Slap the Donkey have managed to make their way through, but Jamie James there just completely turning in on 2 cars as if they weren't there. I think he really needs to replace those mirrors, and yeah, going to refrain from saying something I may regret.
Okay, so we've just seen Will Butler unfortunately is retired from the session. We'll probably receive clarification of why that was shortly. Also, Casely has just set the fastest lap of the race. Now, Has Casely done a pit stop? So that's some information we could do with finding out, if DP could find that information out as well. That'd be very useful.
In a moment,
yeah.
I will in a moment. I'd just like James to have a quick look at where Mr. Hamilton 44 is, because he has made a pit stop already, and he's been on the medium tyres for 3-4 laps now.
Yeah, I'll have a look. If you want to check out Coming to Get You and Slap the Donkey, they're really going for it. So Hamilton 44. He is on the medium tyre in P11. I think he's made a pit stop. But he's looking very fast, is Mr. Hamilton 44. On the limit.
Dan
he looks to have a lot of fresh grip.
Dan Evs has gone for the pit box, and that surprises me in a way, because he started on fresh rubber, as he didn't set a qualifying lap.
Sorry, Simo is closer than he's been for quite a while, but he's struggling in the traction zones behind RMS Maranello on the Wellington Straight. The corners leading into DRS zones, he's struggling with traction out of the corner before the DRS, so he's close but not close enough.
Yeah, Maranello's gone slightly deep there, but that slightly helped him. He's got a nice, lovely line through here. Can Simo open up the exit? No, once again, like I say, the traction is just not there for that Toro Rosso.
I mean, he has been struggling quite a lot on the last corner of Maggots and Beckett's, and that's really compromising his opportunity to make a move down to Stowe.
Sorry, we've got Tempfear all over the back of Jamie James now. Tempfear looks to have lined this move up nicely, and Jamie James is all out of shape on the exit. Can Tempfear make this move up the inside? It'll be a ballsy one, but no, he's backed out of it. He's going for the exit. Can he get the power down? Jamie James just manages to cover that off, but here comes Hammer Time in the McLaren. Through Maggots and Beckett's. Can Tempfear try and open this up? Jamie James is cutting corners left, right and centre to stay ahead of that Mercedes-Benz, but Tempfear, DRS open. Can he make the move? Is Jamie James going to use those mirrors? Round the outside. This will be a lovely move if Tempfear can pull this off. Yeah, he's done it. Hammer Time is now the next one to make his way past the Ferrari.
That was a lovely move by Tempfear there, and that's the sort of overtake you expect to see from the current World Championship champion, but he is being pressured still by Jamie James. Jamie James just putting his car in a position for him to see it in his mirrors.
Simo up ahead is really chomping at the back of Maranello's rear wing now. He really needs to try and line himself up for a nice exit, and that, I think he might have done that. But he needs to keep pressuring Maranello and, yeah, force him into a mistake, because it looks to me in a straight line that Haas is a bullet.
It is. It's definitely one slippery car, shall we call it. But I'm still actually surprised at how quick it is in a straight line. But not only that, how quickly he's actually still getting it around the corners. If Simo, I get the feeling if Simo was to get ahead of Maranello, Maranello would just be straight back ahead of him on a straight. Yeah. So Simo's kind of caught in a bit of a rock and a hard place at the moment.
Just
we've got sorry,
I was going to say battle between Overdyking, Tempfear and Hammer Time is still going on. Overdyking did get ahead of Tempfear around Woodcote, but I think Tempfear's coming back at him. Is it Jamie James?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tempfear now got the slipstream. Can he make the move for a second time? It's a bit of deja vu for Tempfear. Can he do it? It looks like he can. Hammer Time's gone wide in the background, but Tempfear's coming back, and Jamie James didn't want to give up on that, and it's Jamie James in the wall. He's got all of his front wing there. How the hell has he got away with his front wing? But he's coming in the pits anyway.
Well, yeah, after having
sorry, Casely being overtaken by Bartman into Stowe, or being attempted to be overtaken. That's down in 12th and 13th place, but it's getting very feisty between the Haas and the McLaren down there.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes-Benz and the Ferrari there, we saw a situation where...
Simo and RMS Maranello, they are so close. I think if Maranello farted, Simo would smell it.
I think, yeah, definitely. It's one of those, it could be a blowback, but hopefully Simo can use it to slipstream past. And, yeah, he's definitely feeling the heat of the rear wing of Haas.
He's got a really good run here.
Can he go for it up the inside? It looks like he's snipping. Open up the exit on the power. Can he hold on to it? Looks like he just can. He's going for the pit lane. He's going for the undercut.
That might be the wise thing for Simo to do there. If he's not able to put enough pressure on Maranello to make a mistake, and he realises he can't make an overtake.
Smell of that rear wing.
No, he didn't like the smell of that Haas at all.
Oh dear.
Right.
Meanwhile,
For the worst call of the day goes to you,
we've got
Steve.
Temp Fear and Hammer Time, Hammer and Tongs. It should be, instead of Hammer Time, Hammer and Tongs. There we go. Just round the outside of Temp Fear, the way Temp Fear's been going round the outside of Joey James earlier.
I think Hammer Time.
I've just seen another spot of rain.
I think Hammer Time may have just picked himself up a speeding in the pit lane penalty. He was locked up with the front wheels and just slid straight across the line, and I've got a feeling that may have just been slightly above the speed limit, and that'll be interesting.
Guys,
Simo,
just to let you know, Simo just come out of the pits on the hard tyres, and he is just ahead of Temp Fear, who is on hard tyres.
Temp Fear just turned in and slapped the back of Simo. Simo will not appreciate that. I think Temp Fear was trying to do the undercut, but Simo just completely outplayed him and blocked off an undercut.
Yeah, now, Simo, could he possibly take these hard tyres all the way to the end of the race and do the one-stop strategy from here? I think he could.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think he could. His tyres could do it, but the last couple of laps he's going to be praying he doesn't get a puncher, because he'll be taking them just slightly past their recommended life window. I mean, Pirelli say that they will do about 15 laps around here. Well, it's 15 he's going to need to do, plus the one he's on, so yeah.
No, sorry, Steve. Maranello into the pits.
Okay, and all this, what we've not been able to concentrate on so far is Mr. Hamilton and what he's been doing coming back through the field. He's currently sat in 6th place, 33 seconds off the lead. The pit lane lost time is about 27 seconds here at Silverstone. So Mr. Hamilton could find himself quite close to the front runners once they've both
Simo's
pitted.
just passing the pit entrance now. Heading through the final couple of corners and on to the start-finish straight.
And where is RMS Maranello?
Just at pit exit now.
He comes
He's
up
going
the
to be
hill.
very, very close on the exit. Just in front is Simo 911. He's managed to do the undercut. What a lovely, lovely move there. Maranello's also on the hard tyres, and Maranello, he needs to make sure that he pounces straight away, because the last thing you want is Simo going all the way to the end, and he's already jumped him.
Yeah, and in all this, I was going to say,
the same thing.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I was going to say that with those guys pitting, Overdijking is now leading.
Yeah, and Temp Fear, after having a terrible qualifying session, is sat in 4th place on the hardest tyre. Now, will he be taking those tyres to the end? So this puts him in a...
he started on them.
He started on them, so he's still yet to pit. But he could still do the one-stop strategy. It could pay out for him being quick at the end of the race. So RMS Maranello is right up the chuff of that Francine Rosso, Toro Rosso, and
So we've got Mornay and Duro thing side by side for P10. A bit further down the grid, but Mornay looks to have just made the move round the outside, but he's gone wide. Coming back onto the circuit, he's probably going to have to give that position up, I would say.
yeah,
And he's done the smart thing there.
and while we were commentating there, we've just seen how quick RMS Maranello's car is. First attempt with DRS on the hanger straight, no problem at all, straight past Simo, round the outside through Stowe, holds his position. Simo back, stuck behind Maranello. What can he do about that?
Yeah, Simo will be very, very frustrated with that.
Overdijking has pitted. He is on his way out of the pits now, so he's gone from the lead. He's currently sitting in 6th. That may change as he comes out of the pits. GT5 King's race is unfortunately over. I'll check what that was, but Overdijking has come out with a little
Just
gap between himself and coming to get you.
Yeah, coming to get you, and Stocky are really going at it, and that was crucial for Overdijking not to get held up by these two, because Stocky looks to be losing heaps of time behind coming to get you.
So at the midpoint in this race, we are 2 drivers out of this race already. The first one was W. Butler. The second one was GT5 King. DP, any information on the 2 drivers?
I think with W Butler it was just a pure retirement, had a few difficulties. With GT5 King, I've got nothing saying about a collision, so I'm not sure what's happened there for him, unfortunately.
Whoa, Simo!
Just to let you know.
Just caught a bit of grass on the exit of Chapel. That's the corner after Maggots and Beckett's. The exit of Maggots and Beckett's is called Chapel. And he managed to catch the sideways...
Tempfear, sorry, look at Tempfear, because he has got Mr. Hamlin 44 right behind him, making a move up the inside into Stowe. And ahead he goes. Tempfear on his now 13-lap-old hard tyres. He's trying to fight back, but no, he's going for the pit lane.
Now, what tyres is he going to put on? Because with 13 laps left, the medium compound really should only be doing 12 laps. So, does this mean there's a one-stop strategy from Tempfear from here? Oh, I think if it had taken those hard just 1 lap longer, that might have been the better call.
Just to let our viewers know, Stocky's made his way past Coming to Get You, and his next victim will be Overdykink, but Overdykink is on slightly fresher tyres.
Yes, Overdykink only just recently pitted. He was in the lead just before he pitted. He's come out, he's now in 5th position. But yeah, Stocky has got that Force India right behind him. I believe that's Coming to Get You. While we're watching Coming to Get You following Stocky, James, if you're able to put the race director view up and just read through the order for us at this point in the race as we're halfway.
I'll do that for you, and you guys can keep an eye on the action. I'm also having a quick look at Simo and RMS Maranello as Dan Evans' race is over. I'll check that out in a moment as well. Simo not close enough to attack, so I will run through the order for you. So in first place is RMS Maranello, second place is Simo, third Mr. Hamlin 44, fourth F1 Roadrunner, Overdykink in fifth, Stocky in sixth, Coming to Get You in seventh, Mornay in eighth, Bartman ninth, Hammer Time in 10th, Duofin 11th, Tempfear 12th, Erna Urcham in 13th, Jamie James 14th, K-Slay 15th, and Dan Evans, as we know, is just his race has just come to an end, as well as GT5 King and W Butler a little earlier on.
Maranello, he's got in front of Simo, but Simo is like a dog with a bone. He's not giving up. He's really, really close now behind Maranello. Definitely trying to put Maranello under enough pressure so that he makes a mistake.
We are another driver down. Duofin, they're starting to fall away at the wayside here. It's yeah, fortunate there for Duofin. He is now out of the race as well.
Just to let you know a bit of extra information, Mr. Hamlin 44 has just made his second stop of the race. He's now put on the hard compound tyre, but he's gone from 3rd down to 10th at the moment, and he still hasn't quite got out of the pits yet.
I'm wondering whether any drivers on that first round of pit stops did receive any drive-through penalties, because the speed limit here is 37 miles per hour, about 60 kph, I believe that to be. Yeah, did anybody receive any pit lane penalties, because it is very difficult to get that speed down for Silverstone pit lane?
Maranello is looking very slow through Maggots and Beckett's, and Simo looks to have the aerodynamics to keep in touch. He's got the DRS wide open. Can he go for a move now down the hanger straight? Looks like he may just be a touch too short there. Keeping it tight, trying not to run into the back of Maranello. And it looks like we've got a back marker in a Renault up ahead, so hopefully they'll be getting out of the way of this leading two.
I just want to ask DP a question. If you were Simo in this situation, you feel that you've not necessarily got the pace at the moment, straight line speed to drive past the Haas, what do you do?
Attack him everywhere else other than the straight. You get him out of position in the corners so that you can really try and apply the pressure. If you get RMS Maranello defending, it's going to slow him down. If you apply the pressure that way, that's where it's going to benefit you. He hasn't got the straight line speed or the traction to do it on the straight, so he's got no choice other than to look elsewhere.
That back marker is the commentary team car. Hopefully it's got... But it has sort of shook up Maranello there. Simo looks to have a nice run. Hopefully if he can finally get a decent bit of traction, he may get a bit of slipstream and heading towards this ridiculously fast right-hander.
Driving as close as Simo is, to a car in front through this section of the circuit through Maggots and Beckett's is so difficult to do, because you've got the dirty air from the car in front, so you get less downforce effect on your car. You're scrubbing your tyres more. You've got less vision of where your turning in points, your braking points are. but he's still been able to keep so close. This is one good driver we've got in Front Row Racing.
Well, something that Simo has done at previous events is run low on fuel, which means running lean or standard on the straights instead of rich. So he may just be in a full-on fuel-saving mode at the moment, and if he can save enough fuel, gain some back, he may be able to go for a late real push. Just to give you a bit of information as well, we've got a bit of a battle brewing for 4th, 5th and 6th. That's over Dykink, Stocky and Coming to Get You. They're within close proximity of each other, but not overtaking at the moment.
Okay, thank you. Just looking, want to have a little look if we can from Simo's.
Oh, sorry, Hammer Time and Barman. They were battling, but I think Barman has just dived into the pits. Yes, he has. Sorry, Steve, what were you going to say there?
I just want to see if we can have a little look from Simo 911's view inside his cockpit to see exactly what it's like through Maggots and Beckett's. So at the moment they are heading around towards the old pit straight and the Cox corner. Very difficult corner to take, especially when you've got a car ahead of you, but this is how it looks to Simo, and maybe he's not as close on this lap, or maybe it doesn't look as close from this point of view, but it's still not going to be easy for him to follow a car because of that dirty air, and I think we just saw a little bit of understeer there, but managing to hit the apex still.
Yeah,
but
Simo's got the best aero setup through that section. Maranello running slightly wide by almost
sorry, gonna have to cut in. Over Dykink's got himself into 3rd place. He's still got he's got Stocky right behind him Coming to Get You. I think F1 Roadrunner has made a pit stop. Yes, he has, because he's much further down the field now. But this is a battle for 3rd place, back. And they're side by side.
Yeah, Stocky. He's got that wing open. He's made the move on Jammy Jane. Was it Jammy Jane? No, it was he won it over Dykink.
Overdykink's gone to the outside on the racing line. Stocky's going to have to leave a touch of space as he locks up both front tyres and Coming to Get You. He's looking to be sniffing at the back of that Ferrari. If Overdykink doesn't get on with this and get past, looks like Coming to Get You may mix this up.
So I was just considering, I mean, if the car starts to make an overtake, please cut in and stop me from saying what I'm going to say. But if a driver is planning a 2-stop strategy, when are they going to pit towards the end of the race? What sort of lap? Well, if they're going to go for the soft compound, you're probably going to be looking at a lap 19, maybe lap 20. But if they're going to go onto the medium compound at the end, you want to be going on them now. Now is the time to go for the mediums if you're going to be wanting to do that 2-stop strategy with the mediums at the end. Or if you started on the hards and you're still running them, how the hell have you done that? So Overdykink was having a little look up the inside there, but no room to get past Stocky.
So looking ever closer up at the front, but Simo just cannot get any decent momentum with the DRS wing wide open. With it wide open, Maranello just able to stay in front of Simo, and yeah, it looks like all the proper action's kicking off behind.
Yeah, because Overdykink's trying to go around the outside at Stowe. Stocky defends the inside, and that will mean that Overdykink was on the marbles, but I think he was still able to make the corner. Yes, he was, but not able to make the overtake.
Yeah, I think he'll be getting frustrated now.
Well, I'll tell you what. Simo started having a little bit of a look at turn 3. I think he's got an opportunity of chucking it up the inside at turn 3 on one of the laps if he gets a good run through turns 1 and 2. He has been looking at it.
Yeah, I think if I were him, I'd be running a touch wide through this corner to try and open up the traction. If I would know that I'd be losing out on the traction, I'd try and open up that section, try and get a decent run onto here, because unfortunately running through the old start finish straight, you really need to outdo people on traction, work out where your weaknesses are and where their strengths are, and try and counteract that, and yeah, shove them off the game. But Maranello is just keeping his head, and Simo once again in the slipstream, but I don't think he's got enough power to get past.
This could come down to fuel, like DP was saying shortly ago. I mean, how much fuel is RS Maranello having to use to keep ahead of Simo on those straights, or to make those overtakes on the straights? Or is it just his aeros that are making him that car a little bit quicker on the straights? because come to the last few races, if Simo has been able to save a bit of the last few laps, if Simo is able to save a little bit of fuel,
he's going to have a look.
Oh,
he's
here
going
we
to
go.
have a look at turn 3. He's going to have a look. He's got to have a look. Oh no, RMS Maranello's defended it. Nicely done by RMS Maranello there. But Simo is up the inside into 4. Side by side they go, giving each other just enough room. What about 5?
Maranello still on the outside. He's left space. That's nice to see from Simo. But Maranello keeping very close, and this is the first time we've seen Simo being able to pull away from Maranello, but I think he needs to make sure he stretches his legs through the corners, because we know on them straights Maranello's just going to blitz straight past.
Yeah, he needs to open up that gap through Maggotts and Beckett's, and well, that's where we'll see the difference between the two cars. Last time Simo was ahead, RMS Maranello overtook him pretty much straight away, so it was difficult to see the difference in the aeros. Let's see how long Simo can stay ahead this time. Has he got some fuel in reserve to keep that throttle wide open?
Stronger. He needs to pull out the gap before this hanger straight, but Maranello has managed to keep a semi-decent pace through there. He's got the DRS open, and look at the speed just dissipating, and Maranello's just getting closer and closer, putting Simo under more pressure. Simo needs to make sure he pulls out a gap. Maybe try and in the slow corners, not back off, but just sort of slightly put Maranello off through certain corners.
Yeah, there's two ways he can do that. Obviously, is just run a little bit leaner on his fuel mix through the fast corners, or the corners that should be a bit quicker.
Just run deep as Simo there, very, very deep. This may be compromising him.
I think RMS Maranello pretty much did the same thing there. He locked up on the approach to the corner, and RMS Maranello not as close as he would want to be. Simo's gone defensive very early up towards Brooklands, and RMS Maranello not making the overtake. Is this now RMS Maranello saving fuel, not making the overtake yet? He may be thinking, I've got this guy in the bag, I just need to wait till the last lap. So we'll see.
Just to keep everyone updated as well, third place Stocky, Overdijk 4th place, coming to get you 5th place, still holding station at the moment. They're close, but no fights happening. I'll scream at you if it kicks off.
Okay, thank you. DP, also in a moment, are you able to give us a list of the drivers that have already retired from the event? Not necessarily right now, but when you're prepared. Yeah, cool.
Yes, Simo is really struggling for a straight line pace as he's heading onto the hanger straight. He's moving straight over onto the left hand side, but unfortunately by doing that he's scrubbing the tyres, which is then slowing him down for the straight. Simo would be smart by just gently moving over to the left hand side, but he's trying to break that slipstream, but there's no point if you're going to scrub the front tyres and
coming to get you. Coming to get you has got a good run on Overdyking, heading up towards Stows, having a look up the inside. Overdyking just about covers him off though.
Covers him off and almost slaps into the back of Stocky in doing so.
These three have been at it pretty much the whole race, and I think they're going to be at it for the next 5 laps as well, as we go on to lap number 22.
Simnall looks to have it in the bag, but I'll let you know if anything happens up at the front.
Okay. How is Stocky going to be dealing with the 2 cars behind him? They're all on the hard tyres. I think it was Overdyking was the last of the pit stoppers, so his tyres should be the freshest of the lot of them, and I think that is starting to show in the traction zone.
Stocky's got a very nice line through these couple of corners. I know Dykink's had a bit of a swapper on, coming to get you, might have a nice run here. Very close between coming to get you and Overdykink. Overdykink really looks to maybe overcook these tyres as coming to get you, trying to put him off in the mirrors through Maggotts and Beckett's, and this is letting Stocky letting him slightly get away now.
Well, that's exactly what Stocky's going to need.
we've also got another battle brewing as well. 7th place Temp Fear has got F1 Roadrunner right behind him, and he's got Miss Hamlin 44 catching both of them up. So I might have to scream at you for that one as they go through Maggots and Beckett's.
Ooh, side by side, no! Oh, Overdyking and Stocky. Stocky just gave Overdyking the racing line, but then moved back across slightly. I don't think Overdyking will be happy about that one, but they're still going. There's definitely a big rivalry brewing between the Ferrari boys and the Mercedes boys. We've seen contact earlier on between the other two teammates, which was Temp Fear and Jeremy James. Jeremy James ended up in the wall. Is this going to be a bit of payback for the Ferrari team, or will Stocky be able to fend this?
I think Coming to Get You is just sat behind them thinking, come on, take each other out, take each other out.
Yeah.
Come on, take each other out.
If he's smart, he'll probably see that, because I think by lap 26 the fireworks will surely be flying in every single direction.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Hamlin 44 making a move past F1 Roadrunner, although they're side by side, both with DRS wide open. Mr. Hamlin 44 does manage to just get ahead. He's now going to have to try and catch up Temp Fear, and Hammer Time 95 is just ahead of him. I've also just had a quick look at Simo and RMS Maranello over the front, and the gap has grown. RMS Maranello is now 1.3 seconds behind. He's out of DRS range.
Overdyking going for a move on Stocky with the DRS wing. Can he make the move? I think Stocky's going defensive. The Ferrari, is it going to go to the outside? Yes, he is. Stocky seems to be slightly defending fresh air now, but he's definitely not fresh air now as we're heading towards the final couple of corners. Coming to Get You really needs to just wait for his opportunity. Unless one of these two makes a fundamental error, I'd be waiting for both of them to be slowing a corner, and then I'd pick up the pieces.
And if you are one of these three drivers now and you know that you're running a bit tight with your fuel, you're going to be dreading these last couple of laps, because you know you don't want to be putting it into lean.
Mr. Hamlin 44 has got a fantastic run on Temp Fear. They've just had a little bit of contact in the last couple of corners, but Mr. Hamilton is looking very, very quick at the moment, even though he's on the hard compound tyre. No, it's not going to happen quite yet, but they are still catching up to Hammer Time. Mr. Hamilton, yeah, he's got another good run at DRS zone available for him any second. I think he's going to be making a move into Brooklands if he's got the straight line speed.
I think he does have
Which
no,
he hasn't.
Yes, he hasn't. He went for the inside. The side by side. Temp Fear's run wide onto the curb, compromised his next corner, and Mr. Hamilton's going to try right round the outside. Don't think that's going to work for him. Temp Fear just keeps the position, but it's showing intent as Roadrunner starts to get in on the action as well behind now. Yeah, so
Overdyking once again has another run on Stocky down the hanger straight. Can he make this move once and for all? Very, very late change of direction there. I think it even shook up Coming to Get You. The DRS wing wide open. I'm surprised that Ferrari is still in the race. I'm surprised he didn't end up with a swapper on and aiming the wrong way, but yeah, he needs to make his mind up and not leave it to the last split second, because with all that moving around, he just ended up slowing himself down too much for the corner, and that basically took away any opportunity of an overtake.
So here we are.
These three look to be racing on a tightrope.
This is the battle for the last position on the podium, that third place, and Coming to Get You's taking a different line down the Wellington Straight, decided not to try and pick up the slipstream.
So Mr. Hamlin 44 just chucked it up the inside of Temp Fear at turn 3. Bit of contact between them, and it looks like F1 Roadrunner has managed to sneak past Temp Fear as well.
Oh, Coming to Get You has had a massive swapper on Overdyking. It's got a decent run on Stocky, and that's just given Overdyking a lot of breathing space now. Not a lot of pressure from behind, and yeah, he's on the hunt. And Stocky, he looks to be able to just hang on to this position. I think it'll be a well earned third position if Stocky can hang on to it.
Overdyking's looking like he's sniffing that third place though. He's got decent slipstream, decent exit, DRS open. Can he afford to put it in Rich though? Can any of the drivers afford to put it into Rich? Trying round the outside of Stowe, trying to break.
Just done it.
Only
Stocky's
just.
coming back at him on the exit, up the inside. Overdyking's just left enough space, and that's nice to see. But Stocky, every way that Overdyking goes, Stocky keeps putting it in another position and coming to get you. He's just going to be up the inside of Stocky, I think, at the first corner.
I think he thought better of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the last of Stocky will be seeing. Overdyking getting past there with the superior tyre wear, but Stocky looks to not be flustered by that change of position. But we're on the last lap, and it's all come down to this.
Just to let you know, Simo is heading into Magnussen Beckett, so I'll give you a shout when he's into the last couple of corners.
Okay.
Stocky now, can he get the nice position he has run through this couple of section of corners very nicely, along with coming to get you. Has got a really nice run round the outside.
Stocky's out of fuel. Is it a puncher?
No, he's got a puncher, front left.
He's going incredibly slow.
Simo's in the last few corners. I'll keep an eye on Stocky for you.
Yeah, he's got a puncher. So Simo, we're at the round 10 World Championship. Great race from Simo there, taking the victory in Great Britain, with RMS Maranello looking like he was going to be taking the win for majority of the race there until Simo made a wonderful overtake. So in third position is Overdyking. He's got a bit of fresh air behind him to the fourth place car. So it does look like Overdyking will be joining us on the podium.
We've got a mass battle going on for P5 F1 Roadrunner on the Red Bull. I'm trying to work out which driver
Mr.
that
Hamilton
is.
44.
Can Mr. Hamilton 44 hold on to this position? The Toro Rosso versus the Red Bull into the final couple of corners. Looks like he can just hold on to it. F1 Roadrunner close, but no cigar.
I'll tell you what else is close. Mornay is catching up to Stocky. Stocky's in 9th place. He's in the last 3 corners. Mornay's catching him quickly. Stocky with his puncture. Mornay hasn't got a puncture, but I think Stocky might be safe. He's going to be close as they cross the line.
Just got it.
So Stocky going from what looked like could have been a third position, ends up, I think it may have almost been out of the points. I think it may have been 10th place, but was it 9th or 10th? Well, whatever it was. James, I've got to say it, you definitely commentator cursed him, because you said it looks like Stocky's got this one in the bag for the podium. And there we go.
Looks like Casely's going to be the last across the line, and he too has a puncture, front left puncture, unfortunately for him. But what a race we've just had there, action-packed from start to finish. There'll be unhappy drivers, there'll be happy drivers. I hope the viewers have enjoyed that one. That's been absolutely non-stop, start to finish, absolute drama. Time penalties for drivers as well.
Yeah, just going to say about that. That put Stocky back up to 7th position, overtaking his teammate Temp Fear. So it just goes to show, keep a clean race on the circuit, and you can definitely benefit from it. So the victory there goes to Simo, 2nd RMS Maranello, 3rd Overdyking, 4th coming to get you, 5th Mr. Hamilton, 6th Hammer Time 95, 7th Stocky, 8th Temp Fear. I've just lost I didn't take a picture and it's gone off my screen.
So I can tell you, 9th was F1 Roadrunner, 10th was Jamie James, 11th was Mornay, the 12th was Bartman, 13th was Casely, and I think Erna Urcham were finished a lap down.
Okay.
Right. Unfortunately, I am going to have to leave you both, but good luck with the question of the day. I've sent you both that, so you two both know, but don't give it away till the very end. And I'll see everybody next Sunday for the Project Cars race, which will be round 4 at Hockenheim National. And you can also catch me online, send me a message, say if you want to get involved. And also, I just want to say thank you very much to both my commentators and co-commentators. You've been an absolute set of stars tonight.
It's all right. James. Bugger off. See you later. Make sure you make it up to your missus for getting her a Kinder Bueno for Valentine's Day, you disappointment of a man.
he's got no time to reply. He's got to go.
No, he hasn't. He's got to go. Anyway, well done, James.
Where's them mini eggs?
Oh, right, okay, we're going to invite the podium sitters into the chat party. We'll have a little chat with them. If you've got any questions that you would like us to put to the podium sitters, then feel free to comment in the YouTube chat. Put at FRR and ask your question, and if we are able to announce it, we will. But what a race we have had there. It's going to be an interesting one talking to these guys here. So we'll invite them in. And as James just mentioned, yeah, Project Cars will be on Sunday 8 p.m. But don't forget as well, we have got the World Series tomorrow. Which is the World Series round 10 from Silverstone. Will be live from about 7:25 p.m. So make sure you can join us for that, because if it's anything like this race today, we're in for a cracker. Okay, so we've got two of the guys who've joined us already. We'll just wait for Simo, I think it is. Guys, you can just make sure you got your microphone set to allow to be shared, and once Simo gets in, we'll have a quick chat with you all. So get yourselves a drink, have a breather, and we will crack on in a moment. But yeah, what a race that was. Absolutely fantastic. Qualifying. It's a bit of a shame when rain comes in qualifying like it did, because it's not very spicy, but I tell you what, the race more than made up for it, and Simo has now joined us. So time for the podium interviews with our top three drivers. Simo 911, the provisional race winner. RMS Maranello, provisional second place, and Overdyking, provisional third place. So Steve, over to yourself for the first questions.
Thank you very much. So, taking the provisional victory here at Great Britain was Simo. Congratulations, Simo.
Yeah, thanks.
First of all, qualifying. We had a weather forecast that said dry, but then we were surprised to see rain out on the circuit for qualifying. Were you surprised as well, and did it affect you? I know you got your pole position, but how much did it affect your qualifying?
In my overcast it was raining, so I went just straight to the track with my only mediums, which I have, so I knew that the rain will come.
Okay, I'm just wondering then whether you've got a race team there that's got a better weatherman than we have. It must be something down to budgets, because our budget obviously doesn't give us a very good weather forecast. But yes, it said it was dry, and then so very beneficial for you then for it to tell you that it was going to be damp, because looked like quite a few drivers were caught out by that. So on to the race. Race long battle with the second place driver, RMS Maranello, and it seemed like you had him in the corners, but he had you in the straights. Was that the case, or was you just biding your time and waiting behind him?
Yeah, it was a very tough race. I had to so much work to get away from the nearest zone when I got past him, but I was just following him in the first, I think, 9 laps. Then I just tried something before the pit stop, and then he got me very easily after the pit stop. I can't believe it, but then I just waited my time, and I knew I may have a chance in the end.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was very good. DP, any questions for C-Mate?
Well, I was going to ask him, how frustrating was it, obviously being behind him in that first stint, undercutting him at the pits, for him, his first attempt on the Hanger Straight to drive past. But you've already kind of answered that one. So obviously, yeah, frustrating, but it was a fantastic battle. It really, really was. It was a joy to watch. So given the frustration when he did overtake you after the pit stops, how satisfying was it when you got past him towards the end of the race and opened up that gap to take the win?
Very.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a fully deserved result. Don't go anywhere, we'll come back to you in a few moments' time. If we jump over to RMS Maranello, RMS, an interesting qualifying session, a fantastic race. I can perhaps imagine there's a little bit of frustration, disappointment with the result, but the battle was brilliant for us to watch. How was it for yourself?
Yeah, well, to start on qualifying, my forecast didn't say rain for, well, mine and Caseley's didn't say rain for another 40 minutes. So I initially went out on softs to do like a sighting lap to see what the track condition was like. And then I asked my engineer the weather report, and he said 5 minutes rain, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So I pitted immediately, put the mediums on because I didn't want to qualify on the softs, because that wasn't part of my strategy. And then as soon as I started the flying lap, it started spitting ever so slightly, and I could feel the back end kicking out a couple of times. So yeah, I could have done a quicker lap if I went out on the mediums first of all, but yeah, didn't expect the rain. But the race, I've not concentrated like that in a very long time. Just to stay ahead of him in the corners, I have to say that was really good racing from Simo. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, thanks you too.
Cheers, mate. But no, I knew I had him on the straights because I was running quite a low wing. So even when he had the DRS, I noticed that he wasn't really catching. So I just stuck to my plan of getting a good exit out of the corners, so he couldn't catch me. But yeah, lap 21, 22, I think he overtook me, and I was gutted. The whole race I was ahead, and then the last 5 laps he just got me, and I thought I would have kept up with him, but he was just so mighty through the corners that and under braking as well, I just couldn't challenge. The straights just weren't long enough for me to catch up.
Okay, I've got a question for you, and that is, how were you coping with your fuel during the race? Were you using it early on to make sure you stayed ahead of him on the straights, or were you able to keep some in reserve and hoping to use it towards the end, but it still didn't benefit you anyway?
Well, to be honest, I put in quite a bit because I wanted to run rich most of the race, which I did. So at the end of the race, I think I had like 0.40 left over.
Yeah.
For the last 4 laps, I thought, nah, I'm not catching him now. I was out of the DRS, and that was it.
Okay, my second question, and it'll be my last one until we see if DP's got anything on YouTube for you, and that is, since the incident between you and Simo and Baku, is that all forgotten now, or was it in the back of your mind while you were battling with him throughout the race?
Well, no, I forget. I get over it quite quickly.
You forget things very quickly.
Okay,
Well,
you
yeah.
forget things very quickly. Would you forget your wife's Valentine's Day?
Yes, because I don't have a wife.
Well, okay, yeah, but that's not relevant. I'm more pointed at the fact that Steve, not only did he forget to get his wife anything for Valentine's Day, he forgot it was Valentine's Day.
Good effort.
Yeah,
It's easily
I
done.
applaud that.
It's easily done.
Yeah, and my other co-commentator gets his girlfriend a Kinder Bueno. I mean, what the hell is that about? Anyway, well done, Maranello. Interesting race. We'll move on to Overdyking. Sitting in 3rd place, and a very, very interesting race there, Dom. A lot going off all the way through that, and I think in some respects, as saddening as it was for Stocky to have that puncture at the end, I can imagine you're quite happy that it happened once you got ahead of him and not when you were right behind him, because if that had have happened, it could have ended in disaster. But 3rd place, well earned, an interesting battle all the way through, but it did look like you and your teammate were both drivers that were possibly caught out a little bit. No, you weren't caught out in qualifying. Sorry, your teammate was. So weather forecast for qualifying, did you have the wet weather forecast, or was it just dry like Maranello's, and you managed to get that early lap time in?
Well, I had it dry, but obviously with Ryan Hindle and Calzo and the party, they told us it was wet, but they told that when we were about 1 or 2 minutes in the qualifying. So I went out straight as quick as I could after I heard that message on the mediums. Put a lap in, absolutely messed it up, but still managed to get third because others obviously went out later when the track was getting wet. So that's what got me third in the qualifying.
It worked. In the race, I'll tell you what, so much happened I can barely remember much of what happened earlier on. I think I remember someone saying you were off the track at one point. Do you remember what happened there?
Yeah. Well, obviously with the guys on the soft starting behind me, Bartman and Mr. Hamilton, I knew they were going to cause trouble for me because they obviously started on the softs and they were going to have a good first lap. So I got swamped by them in the first lap, and then the laps after that I was quicker. And I think I made a move on Mr. Hamilton, and as far as I was aware of, I made the move stick. And then going into Mackett and Beckett's, he went up my outside, and well, we made contact, and that sent me straight off. So that was not very, was not very nice. So I had to rejoin track in, I think it was about 8th or 9th place, and from there on I had to catch up to the front again.
Well, you managed to do that, so that battle towards the end, Stocky, yourself, coming to get you, it was very close, it was very tense, and for quite a few laps, I mean, even just before that, there was a big battle with Temp Fear as well. I mean, I have seen that you mentioned in one of the chats that it was very intense, that race. So, is there a scale you could put that on for intensity?
Yeah, it'll definitely 10 out of 10 for sure. We were battling since I pitted, and that was lap 12. So yeah, it was pretty intense. I was shaking for the last lap when I got past Stocky, and I thought, oh, let's just keep this together now. It's been so long since I've had a podium interview, so I'm really happy with this third place, and it's good to have my my mojo sort of back again after a disastrous start of the season to now get 2 podium finishes.
Okay, talking about mojo. Obviously, you feel for Stocky that he's got his puncture, but I can imagine there was a little bit of a yes. Was there?
Well, it was good. I actually genuinely felt gutted for him with the puncture, but obviously it was kind of a relief as well because I knew he wasn't going to attack me in the on the last DRS straight, so that was kind of a relief. But still gutted for him that he had the puncture. But
he needs to lose some points anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's fair play. Yeah, it's nicer if he doesn't score points to close the championship back up again. So in that sense, I'm quite happy with it.
It's interesting that both Mr. Hamilton 44 and Stocky have dropped points in this race. It'll be interesting to see what it does to the standings. But Steve, any questions for Overdyking?
Yeah, congratulations on your podium today. I want to ask you though, would you feel this is your best result since changing from the pad to the wheel?
Is it? Yeah, I suppose it is. Obviously, I've changed the wheel this season, and after being crashed off, or either crashing off myself in the first 8 races, yeah, it's not very hard to say that this is the best result, especially because this one's on track and the other third place wasn't.
Okay, so would you say that it kind of like turned a corner now at this point, and we're going to see more podiums throughout the rest of the season from you?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I've in pretty much every race, I felt that the pace was there, but I've just not been as lucky or anything in every race. In this race, I managed to stay out of trouble apart from that one crash.
Okay, now I don't want to put you into trouble, but I want to ask you: in Netherlands, do they have Valentine's Day like we do in Britain?
Yes, they do, mate.
What did you get your missus for Valentine's Day?
Nothing. We don't do Valentine's Day.
There you go, Dave. I don't feel so bad now.
I'm not going to let you off with it. I think it's disappointing. It's devastating. I don't know. These guys were girlfriends, and yeah, Valentine's Day.
Do you know what?
He watched a film with her. Is that not enough?
It was a horror.
Yeah, he watched a horror film with her.
Exactly. That's perfect. You can keep her safe.
Scare the living daylights out of her, so she cuddles up. But we all know what Steve's like. They probably had a curry for dinner as well, so she wouldn't have been cuddling too much. Otherwise, there'd have been a bit of a wind effect. Okay. Anyway, very well done, guys. I am going to have a quick look and see if there's any questions on YouTube for you, but we'll also quickly do question of the day now. And just to pre-warn you, From a Racing JS came up with the question of the day today, so it's a bit of a tricky one, really. So if anyone on YouTube wants to have a final guess of this, go for it. And the question is: in which 2 James Bond movies did Sheriff W.J. Pepper star in?
God.
Yeah, I don't think Bond did a God film. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. So, Simo, do you want to have a guess at that one?
No, absolutely no idea.
I think that's the same for a lot of people. RMS Maranello?
What was the name?
Sheriff W.J. Pepper.
Is it before Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Okay, then pass.
Can tell he's young. Do you even know the name of the previous James Bonds? Don't even answer that.
I do know some of them. Just not right now.
Okay, we'll let you off that one. Okay, Overdyking, come on, save the drivers from the lack of knowledge.
I'm going to join in with them. I've not seen any James Bond movie apart from the last 2, so I don't think there's any sense in me guessing this question.
Oh my god, I don't know,
Drivers
these
don't
young
have
guys...
knowledge, that's the thing.
Well, that is true. These young guys really need to start watching some of the classics. Although saying that, I think the first James Bond film's probably about 50 years old now. Neither was I, thank you very much. 80? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's... Overdyking. It's not quite a question you've got on YouTube here, but somebody's saying they'll be your Valentines. Better not tell the missus. Also, I'm not sure how good a cuddler GT5 King really is. Okay, let's have a look. Not many questions on the chat. A few comments saying good race, WC drivers. Hammer Time saying apologies if he was lagging earlier on, someone was downloading something. Drew saying congratulations to Maranello. And also saying thanks for letting me practice with you. Now we know where Drew's little bit of extra pace has come from. So yeah, mainly positive comments on the YouTube chat. Not many people have had a go at answering the question of the day, and I don't blame you. Even I didn't know the answer, but I will mention it. It is Live and Let Die.
So you have a go at us for not knowing?
Well, yeah, but I've been awake for nearly 34 hours, so give me a break. You see, the question of the day, the question of the day very nearly was how many hours did I sleep last night, and the answer would have been none because I got about 10 minutes and that was it. Anyway,
you know what? That would have been a better question than the question James came up with. I think it's fair enough to say that this is the last question of the day from James Shaw, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. We might have a good one for the next round from him. We've been making him save it for a few races. Okay, the films were Live and Let Die and The Man with a Golden Gun. And if you've never watched them, you probably really should. It'd be a good Valentine's Day movie to watch with the missus. Okay, anyway, bring the podium interviews to an end now. Other than to say to the podium sitters, guys, I believe the next round is at Hungary. What do you think your chances are at that monster of a circuit? Simo?
I just had a race in the other league, so I'm very confident.
Oh, great.
Fighting for.
I like our wrestlers' answer there. Great. Come on then, Ollie. Confidence around Hungary?
I've not done any practice at all, but I definitely will be. It's fairly high downforce track, which I like. So we'll see.
That we will. Overdyking is a track that you have won at in the past in Front Row Racing. You mentioned about turning a corner earlier. There's plenty of corners to turn around there. Do you think another podium, another win could be on the cards, avoiding any dramas?
Yeah, well, as you said, if I can avoid any carnage, yeah, who knows? It's the track I won the first World Championship race at, so yeah, up for a good one probably.
Well, hopefully it will be. So, folks, you can join us in 2 weeks' time for the World Championship Round 11 from Hungary. Very well done to our podium sitters. Simo 911 taking the victory. RMS Maranello second place, and Over Dyking in third place. Very well done. And well done to all of those drivers that managed to make it to the end in a fantastic race here at Silverstone. And commiserations to those guys who unfortunately weren't able to get to the end. Some through terminal damage collisions and others through retirements. Next on the Formula Racing YouTube channel will be tomorrow from about 7:25 p.m. for the Formula Racing World Series Round 10, again from Silverstone, so make sure you come and join us for that. I've got a feeling it could be absolute carnage or just as fantastic as today's race was. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Also, thank you to the commentary team from Racing GP and from Racing JS. Steve, you can say thanks from yourself and James if you like.
Thanks from myself and James.
There you go. This has been the Formula Racing World Championships. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Congrats, guys.
Cheers.